Welcome back, everyone. In today's video, I'm going to be giving you the best market analysis on YouTube. You will not find a better video breaking down Bitcoin, Dogecoin, and the S&P 500 to give you an all-encompassing, cohesive understanding of exactly what's going on today, which is June 11th, 2021. So if that sounds interesting to you, if you want to understand exactly what's taking place right now in the market, whether you're a trader, investor, this video is for you. So without further ado, if you've been following this channel, I don't waste your time. We're going to get straight into it, diving first into the Bitcoin chart. So when you're looking at this Bitcoin chart, you might be switching bullish, okay? Because one, we had a meteoric rise of 6,000 to 7,000 points here within a matter of 48 hours. You had good news, which consisted of El Salvador and their acceptance of Bitcoin. And three, you have a bunch of videos out there saying it's time to go to the moon and this and that, right? So a lot of people completely forget the bearish side and that it's still a very prominent force here within the price action of Bitcoin, okay? And so what you have to understand currently is if you're blinded by those three factors, the factors that you actually have that are still bearish, well, first off, you don't see them. So let's point out some of those bearish factors. Point number one, you've actually got a head and shoulders developing up here at this level. Now, what you need to understand about a head and shoulders, if you haven't been following our channel, where we've obviously broken down what the head and shoulders is, exactly how it works, what are the key characteristics of a head and shoulders, well, what you need to understand is a head and shoulders is a clear, definitive, factual sign of a loss of momentum and slowdown. And so after such a big rise, now that the fact the price is slowing down and losing momentum is not a good sign, okay? Because really, after breaking above this level, which was the previous neckline for the previous head and shoulders, which we nailed and predicted on the channel, we should be flying, okay? We should be flying and we should not be slowing down at this point, but that's exactly what we're doing. And then we're going to take this to the next level and realize, okay, where are we slowing down? Well, we're slowing down at another lower high, okay? So you had high right here, followed by a lower high, followed by a lower high, followed by a lower high, okay? And so it's at this point that you would have expected Bitcoin to actually get above 38, 39K. And it's failed to do so, and it's failed pretty epically, if epically is a word, with this very bearish head and shoulders formation, which we currently have. Now, we are actually in the middle of this trade right now. We have our members in this trade as well. If you want to watch a live trade on this Bitcoin head and shoulders, please make sure you actually drop a like on this video. This video gets 400 likes. We will post a live trading video for this trade that we're currently in. But that being said, I'm not saying there's not a possibility for Bitcoin to go higher. There still is, okay? But you have to understand it's about 80% bearish and 20% bullish as of now. And once again, not trying to offend you guys who are bullish out there on Bitcoin. We love Bitcoin, and that's why we short it, okay? Because if you truly love Bitcoin, you will short it. Because when you short Bitcoin, you make Bitcoin on the way down, and then you get more Bitcoin. I mean, it just doesn't make sense. If you love Bitcoin, you should also short Bitcoin. But the common theme amongst traders and investors is how could you short the thing you love, right? It's totally off, it's totally wrong. But that being said, we are setting up for a big move lower. Now, the move lower is not confirmed yet. What you really want to see is a break below this 35.7 level. Okay, a break below this level on strong volume is exactly what's going to signal to you a further continuation lower from this lower high that we have here, right? So remember, everyone's going to blind you. Everyone's going to say it's bullish. Everyone's going to tell you what you want to hear to get your like on their video so that they can get more YouTube ad revenue, because these guys are trying to pump out videos every day so they can make money on their YouTube videos. Guys, we make money off of trading, not off of the YouTube videos here. So once again, lower highs here and followed by a head and shoulders. Just those two factors alone are extremely, extremely bearish at this point in time. But we're actually going to take it to another level and show you another bearish factor, which would be the RSI Divergence. Now, this is where attention to detail comes into play. A lot of people don't understand here. At this shoulder price and this shoulder price, the RSI is actually substantially decreased here. You can see last time we were at this exact same level. Where was the RSI? It was up here. This time, the RSI is way lower. What does that tell you? Well, the strength in relation to being at this price level last time is much weaker. So a lot of people try to use the RSI as a signal of oversold and overbought. That's not how you want to use it. You want to use the RSI as a measure of strength in relation to the measure of strength at another level, right? So we're literally stating facts here. At the exact same level, Bitcoin is now weaker than it was when it was at this exact same level. Now, saying something's overbought or oversold is not a fact, okay? Because overbought and oversold, that's kind of subjective, right? You can't truly put a number on something to be overbought or oversold, because the truth is things can remain overbought for a long, long, long time. A great example of this would be Bitcoin, right? You can see here it's overbought for, 3 weeks. So imagine if as soon as it got overbought, you tried to short it. Well, look at that. You got killed because it went higher another 15 points. So don't think that just because something's overbought, it needs to drop. That's not true at all. As a matter of fact, that's probably one of the worst ways you could use the RSI. So try to use the RSI as a gauge and kind of track for a comparison of one price to another and the strength of that price to that other price. Hopefully that makes sense, okay? So we've got 3 major bearish factors I pointed out so far, right? 1, you've got lower highs. 2, you got stall out, loss of momentum, and slowdown with a head and shoulders at the lower high. And 3, you have a major RSI divergence, which once again gives you a highly probable outcome of a reversal back lower before proceeding higher eventually, okay? And so what you need to understand is, once again, if you look at this head and shoulders previously that we nailed on this channel, you got shoulder, head, shoulder. Well, it actually breaks through the shoulder, okay, then comes back up, hovers around for 1 day before stalling out once again, losing momentum, and then actually continuing its descent, okay? So you have to understand that patterns aren't going to be precise every single time. They're not going to go and behave exactly as you like them to every time, but ultimately, more times than not, the chart patterns will work. And so what you need for this pattern to work is official break through this level, and when that happens, you have a very high probability for a drop down to 33,000 and lower. Now, the reason this drop could be lower than just 33,000 is because, once again, look at this head and shoulders and look at where this head and shoulders was. It was actually higher than this head and shoulders. Okay, so if this is a lower high and it's the same chart pattern forming, well, we can probably assume the drop to be even larger this time, potentially, right? So hopefully that makes sense, and hopefully I've pointed out some of those bearish factors for you. That way you can consider both sides, right? Because every other channel is going to give you every reason to be bullish. Well, in this video, I'm giving you every reason to be bearish. So when you can combine those things, I hope you can make a better decision for yourself. But you can see, guys, clearly stalling out up here. And another key factor within the head and shoulders price, you're going to notice here, look at the left shoulder, look at the strong volume within this left shoulder. Now look at the right shoulder. The volume is diminishing from the buyers, which is, once again, another confirmation and divergence within the head and shoulders pattern, which is another bearish factor, okay? So keep that in mind, guys. You are very likely to get a reversal lower, and ultimately, I'm not saying you have to go in and play aggressive like myself and our members are currently. Like I told you, we're already shorting this here with an entry price of 37,490 to 37,570, depending on exactly when we entered. We have different members, and by the time you text them, some get in at that price, some get in at another price. Once again, if you want to see the live trade of this that we're actually in right now, make sure this video gets 400 likes, okay? So, am I trying to scare you? Am I trying to get you overly bearish? I'm not. I'm trying to show you all aspects and parts of this equation. And so obviously you have my bias. I am about 80% bearish. Well, okay, if I'm trying to be real with you here, okay, like I usually am, I'm very bearish currently, okay? So what's it going to take for me to be bullish, okay? Well, it's going to take a break above this level for me to get bullish, or a break above this trend right here, okay? Which, as time progresses, it gets harder and harder to get above this trend right here, which is, if you're not sure exactly where that yellow line comes from, it's the point of uptrend that we had that was giving us support through these lower highs, or the higher lows we were getting. Okay, so now we're still below that, which is a confirmed downtrend. Okay, so we went over this in the most recent video. You have a bearish trend within a bearish trend, which is, once again, there is nothing bullish about that, and that's just a fact. Okay, you're still making lower highs in the short term and the long term. You've got the RSI divergence, you've got the volume divergence, you've got head and shoulders at the lower high. Guys, there is nothing bullish about this. So as a matter of fact, I was trying to be nice here. I was trying to say, look, there's still a chance for bullishness because I'm trying to be nice, okay? But the truth is, you have a very small chance of bullish price action at this point in time in relation to another bearish drop lower. Okay, so from a probability standpoint, I'd say you've got an 84% chance for a drop, and you've got about a 16% chance for a rise. Now, once again, why do these, bear markets oftentimes last, 3 years sometimes? Well, getting back to the trend, right? You see how this trend continues to go higher and higher. That's why, okay, because the longer you stall out, the longer you stay down, the harder it is to get back above trend. And so it takes a lot of recuperation, a lot of strength build up from the bottom up to finally push out back higher. And so, guys, this is a moment of truth here. I think, here's what I'm thinking, guys. I think we might have one more drop lower. And if this drop lower cannot exceed this 27 or 28K to 31K level-ish area, right? If we don't break below there again, I do think this will likely be the bottom. Okay, but if the magnitude of this drop is very real, if it is strong, and if we take out these lows, I think we could be entering a much greater, much more extended bear market here. Okay, so just keep that in mind. This drop, which I'm telling you, I think is a very probable outcome. Well, I think this is the most important drop yet, right? We've had multiple drops, right? You can literally see we have it all drawn up here. Remember, this head and shoulders, which we nailed on the channel, drop. This head and shoulders, drop. This is another head and shoulders and drop. But where will this drop get us to? Once again, will it take out the lows, or will we once again find that support and strength within the price of Bitcoin? I think once again, if this is the last time we drop, and if this is the last time where we can't break through these lows, I think Bitcoin is good again. Okay, and that's my opinion as of now. But stay up to date with this channel and what I'm thinking by subscribing to this channel. Now, to wrap up this video, what should you expect in the short term? I think you should expect a reversion back down to 33,000. Okay, and this is just part one of our analysis. I want to make two digestible segments. So this will be the first segment of the analysis. In the second segment, I'm actually going to be addressing the concern, or what a lot of people might be thinking right now. What is the catalyst? This guy is all charts. He's all talk. Where is the catalyst? What's going to actually happen that's going to push the price of Bitcoin even lower? That's what I want to show you in part two. So make sure you subscribe. I'm about to upload that video. That way, once again, you have two digestible segments, so it's much more easy to consume for you guys. That being said, that's what you should expect in the short term, I believe, is about an 84% chance for a drop down to 33,000, okay? And so this only becomes 100% confirmed and validated on the break of this level of 35,700. So please keep an eye on that, guys. With these head and shoulder patterns, it can still go higher, okay? It still can go higher, but it's a very small probability, okay? So you have my honest opinion, my honest bias, and if you rather go watch a channel where it's going to tell you can go every which way, inwards, outwards, sideways, and that way, then you can do that, okay? But on this channel, I'm going to give you my honest opinion, whether I'm right or wrong. You get to see the end result with full transparency, and at the end of the day, you're going to get a real opinion, a real bias, instead of some wishy-washy fake answer and analysis. Okay, so welcome to Crash Trading. My name is Alex. I hope you enjoyed this video, and if you want more, come back for part two. That video will be uploaded shortly, and the question to answer in that video is, what is the catalyst? Let's get into it, guys. Thanks for watching. Make sure before you leave this video you drop a like, make sure you subscribe, and we'll see you on the next video. Take care.